We are going to basically be talking a little bit about the systems of support that have been created throughout Iowa, primarily one district that has a really dynamic program on how to support their apprentices. Just to give you a background of where we're at, our ultimate goal is to create 1,100 apprentices, teacher apprentices in Iowa. Right now, we're at 633 apprentices that are currently enrolled in programs that's only about a year old. We invested $45.6 million of ARPA funds into the Iowa schools and the TPRA registered apprenticeship programs. That consisted of 19 lead schools, 134 schools altogether. 19 fiscal agents are registered currently. My colleague from Storm Lake Community School Districts is one of those fiscal agents that has many schools involved in addition to her school. Her district is 86.4 non-Caucasian, 65% English language learners, 67.5% free and reduced lunch. And so she has been able to really put a system of support for all of the people that are within our community, designed proactively to support diversity and accessibility. I think Stacy has done a tremendous job of doing that. She has many great examples from the field itself. She currently has 55 apprentices in her consortium with all kinds of multiple levels of support, whether it's ELL, just even looking at reading supports and math supports and different things like that.
We named our project Project Possible. We're small, we're mighty, but what we recognize is that we have a host of folks in this town that I would call differently advantaged. So they're disadvantaged by our system and the traditional ways that we look about people being advantaged. But I look at our folks as being very differently advantaged and that they just bring a wealth of strengths to our community.
A couple of years ago, we opened our schools during the COVID pandemic, and we had to be very creative about how we were able to open the schools. And we used our paraprofessionals in a much larger capacity than we had ever used them before. And to our pleasant surprise, all of those people really stepped up and really showed us that they are very, very capable beyond the job duties that we have given them in the past. It really gave us the why behind trying to create a program that could allow them to take on much larger roles in our school system than we had previously given them.
It's my dream to be a teacher in this country. You know, I would say that when this happens, I couldn't stop. I'm gonna be honest, I cry a little bit.
The apprenticeship program, I think, is really the way we need to go with education. It really kind of blows up that traditional model, and it gets people into the classroom sooner with more supports.
We knew we had to create some sustainable pathways in order for people to actually make this work. Our journeymen don't do much with our high school students that are going to be paras. They also don't do a lot with our adults who are going into that para role, but they do a lot with our adult to K-12 teacher piece. So they do a lot of one-to-one support. It's essentially a 2.5-year student teaching stint is what it ends up being with that journeyman, when that journeyman is constantly giving feedback, talking through lesson planning, doing all of the things. Our journeymen also lead weekly study halls. So we put in study hall support for all of our apprentices because we know it's been a while for some of them since they went to school. We have mentors. And so those mentors are like our classroom teachers, our instructional coaches. There are people that help like our other 2 layers of apprentices more than the others. So our high school students and our adults that are in more traditional paraprofessional roles. And so they're the people that are touching base, making sure that those competencies are being met at that level, that adult to para level. So I have those 2 instructional coaches, and they are doing regular check-ins with our high school kids. They're helping our adult to para people do their course signups with the community college. They're making sure that they have tutors when they need them. They're talking to me about the tutor support that we need for that layer. They're doing learning lab support for those folks. Then as we move into those people who are in those final 2 years of their higher ed piece, they're making sure we're doing the right course signups. We meet twice a month with our university partner because we want to make sure that we have everybody on the right path to get the degree that they need to get. We make sure that our cohort classes are working in ways that meet the needs of both the college, us, and the apprentices. We offer learning lab support and weekly study hall. So they also meet with me on a monthly basis. When we meet with the journeyman, they help me with all data collection, and we meet weekly with all of the superintendents that are in our cohort. The retired BVU professor, she goes in, she observes that one layer of apprentices 6 times per year. She meets monthly with me and lead coaches, and then twice a year just with me, so she can tell me about the things that maybe she's not willing to say with other people in the room. And that gives me really good program information about where we're failing our people and where we're excelling and how we can adjust and make things work. We also use our high school counselors. So for our high school students that are apprentices, they're helping with their 4-year plans, they're doing course sign up, and then we pay them to help everyone with their FAFSA.
We're really excited about the things that are going on in Iowa and the things that are happening in Storm Lake too. So please let us know if we can help with anything.